And explore the smartphone users and how you can best control and manage users both in your call flows and how to create groups so that you can easily group people together by type or function. So to control your users, you simply go into admin and you go into your user section. And here you can see the list of users you already have access to. And of course, you can delete them by clicking the trash can. You can control some of their settings by simply clicking on the settings here. And of course, you can add new users from your Podio system at any point. Easiest way to do that is ensure that you click to resync your Podio contacts before you do so that we have your most up-to-date list of users. When you do add a new user, it is important to note that anybody who has administrator capabilities, anybody you add as administrator, does have more control over your system and can make decisions, can control flows, etc. So you want to make sure that you only add those people when you need to. Of course, at any time, from the user settings, you can choose whether someone is administrator or not. You can revoke privileges at any time. Heading over back to your users setup, the biggest thing that we tend to recommend is the group functionality. For those of you who have never done this before or setting up smartphone for the first time, smartphone groups are a great way of making sure that the flows you create, i.e. the flows that tell the system how an inbound call or text should be managed, can be done with using a group of people, and so that if someone changes, you can always simply swap them out here once, and the flows use them the same way. So groups can be set up. You can set up as many groups as you want, and inside of those groups, you can drop anyone on these. So, for instance, here I am, and I've got an on-call group. I could drag over one of my other users, and there they are added into that group. You can rename the group at any point and delete the group. Now, you can also move the order. And this is really important when it comes to flows, because when you do an inbound call flow, you do have the option when you're selecting a group to choose either simultaneous call, in which case it would call both Jordan and Tudor Deek at the same time, or you can choose just a normal ring, in which case it'll call one after the other. It'll first start with me and then go to the second and then the third if we added a third person into the flow. And by adjusting the order here, you can determine who is first. It's really important that you get to know the user section and that you start to play around with how your groups are best used within the flows. And of course, you can review some of our other videos around how to set up flows and the different types of call flows available to you to see these groups in action. But in general principle, I always say to myself that I want to make groups for the type of users who are going to likely be responding to the same type of action. So here's my acquisitions team. Here is my maintenance team. Here is my sales team. Here's my outside sales team. It's a great way of combining users and being able to use the group functionality across the flows.